you doing this evening?
I'm doing mighty fine. I'm feeling pumped and fueled and ready to rumble.
Excellent, sir. Most excellent. Darren will be attending very shortly. But in the meantime, why don't we go ahead and get a recap of what happened last time for all the newer viewers?
I am always down to recap. That was actually my job in another stream I was used to do. Yeah, so let me see. Last time on... I don't think this thing has a name, but the last time we ended our explorations in Phantasmagoria, Trey and his character, Sakura the Bard, the magician,
Close enough.
one of those, had just been unseated from his ship. There was a gigantic ichthyosaur zombie, and that thing came through and smashed the ship that they were on. They were actually planning to go to this island with some adventurers from the lakeside town of Brulydale. And honestly, I'm probably going to have to say this is more of an inland sea than a lake, because it is absolutely massive. You had to spend a day and a half sailing across it to get to the point where you were attacked by the ichthyosaur. And, y'all did your best. You tried every trick in the book you could think of, but in the end, the thing smashed your ships.
I fought valiantly, though.
You did. You did everything in your power, and maybe then some. But like I said, in the end, the thing smashed your ships and everything went dark. And that's where we pick up today.
Excellent.
With the lights rising, the curtain rising, and the lights coming back on. Sakura can blink the grit out of his eyes, and as he sits up and looks around, he finds himself on a beach. It's a nice beach. It's not the best beach, There's sand, lots of rocks, there's a forest behind you, and the sky is overcast with stratus clouds. It's a little gray out there, maybe a slight drizzle. Next to you is a sleeping Hortense. Above you is a small put-together shelter that keeps the larger drops from falling on you. To your left is a smallish fire, and tending that fire is Rickard.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm. He's kind of poking at the heat, and there seems to be a couple small fish on there. The guy's been busy while you've been out.
Tsunami says he finds a moist and handsome frag god. Yep, he found me.
Frag god, huh?
Yeah, because Gears always throw grenades at random places, and I get good kills off of that.
Nice.
His name is Tsunami. He's also very handsome, almost as handsome as you.
I will take that ambiguous statement as a compliment.
It is without a doubt a compliment, because he is really handsome.
Wow. Well, good to see you're in here, Tsunami.
Good to have you. Yeah, gotta have those nerdy angles.
Nerdy angles.
So, do I roll for...
I mean, you don't really gotta roll at this point. You're just now waking up. If you want to ask any questions of Rickard or try to wake Hortense,
I'll just...
You know what?
We'll just turn into a monster movie. What happened?
Gosh, I wonder. Rickard regards you evenly, as he so often does, and says, after the ichthyosaur smashed the ship, I managed to pull you onto a piece of driftboard. The very piece of driftboard you're sitting under right now. It's part of the shelter, you see.
Yeah, he said calling you handsome compared to him was a compliment.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. Got the little eye right next to his name. It's my subscriber little emote.
I see.
You like it?
Fancy. Yes. The little slit eye.
Mm-hmm.
Cute.
So, by looking at Hortense, is she okay?
Let's see. She took a couple bites from those fish during the ichthyosaur fight. So she's got a couple big scratches on her. And she seems to be breathing evenly, but she is out cold.
Reasons.
For the reasons.
He says, I see you in the sea.
See you in the sea. C-U-N-C?
Mhm.
C-U-N-C. That's a 4-letter word we don't say in this household.
What, kunk?
Yeah.
Like a conch shell?
Oh my gosh. My ears are burning.
I made a conscious decision to say that.
Ugh.
So, is she poisoned?
Doesn't seem like it. Just seems like she's just still out.
Okay, what happened to, other chick?
Other chick. Paisley?
Yeah.
Do ask Rickard.
Yeah, since he's the only one up.
Alright, since Rickard is still there.
To say, I'm asking, did anybody else make it?
Did anyone else make it? Rickard says, you two were the only two I found. I didn't see where the others went on the ocean. There was a small storm kicking up, remember? So I did my best to keep who I found, and it's a miracle we washed up here.
Well, I'm going to highly regard him saying, once again, I owe you my life.
Kind of nods and takes it in stride, as that Rickard do.
So I guess I'm just going to brush myself off,
Mm-hmm.
wipe all the sand off my trousers,
Mm-hmm.
saying, this is the place, huh?
Rickard nods and says, as far as I know.
This is the Island.
Let me see. What has Rickard got? I think he's got a thing for this. Oh, he sure does. So, Rickard would let you know that I used a little bit of magic to sense the surroundings. And there are many undead nearby.
That's always nice.
Yeah. Depending on your genre of choice.
I'm just saying, as long as the big ones are out there in the ocean, they can't walk on land. I'll take that as a small victory.
No, Sakura. I can't tell how big any of them are, but there are lots of undead in all directions.
As long as it's not an ichthyosaur, I'm trying to remain optimistic.
Those are probably the ones out to sea, yes.
Have you checked the surrounding area for, like, supplies? Did any of the supplies make it?
Time for a percentage roll because the DM doesn't know.
Tsunami says, I sense the souls of the skeletons right as well.
Souls of skeletons?
Mhm.
Maybe we'll see some of those. Who knows? Let me see. What's that? An 80. 89. So, yeah, we got a pretty good likelihood. Rickard says, yes, some of the some ration boxes did wash up a little further down the beach, and I managed to rescue some of them. And he nods kind of behind you, behind the little shelter lean-to he set up, and there is the remains of a crate with some provisions inside. It's a little bit, let me roll for quality, because it did go through the sea. That looks like a 16. So it's in pretty good shape. Some of the stuff is a little bit soggy. But for the most part, it is all intact, and none of the things that are soggy are really things that are going to be super damaged. Like,
Non-perishables?
yeah. Let me see, what was in this box? Rations.
Canned goods.
Cans. This is a medieval world, friend. We don't got cans. No,
Technically.
we got jars.
Well, potted meat.
Potted, yeah, sure, yes. I'm envisioning, a wooden crate that you see.
They're buried in the
everything.
ground beneath you in an underground tomb of ancient pharaohs who ran from Egypt and lived in underground caverns.
Hey, no spoilers, man. No spoilers.
So I guess we should...
Undead in the sea, undead in the ground, undead in the sky. What is this, huh?
Well, there's no one dead in my underwear.
Well, that's one place you wouldn't want undead to rise from.
No. Maybe rise, but no, okay. I got you.
I'm winking vigorously, by the way.
So I guess our first order of business is to check for other survivors. And try to get a local knowledge of the local flora and fauna.
Rickard nods and adds that he has done a little bit of reconnaissance, indicating that there is a rocky outcrop further to the south that he didn't go past, and he only found, a couple boxes of rations, and he only explored a small way into the forest because there seemed to be a great many eyes watching him when he was in there. So he kept to the beach mostly.
Nice.
But he says, like, now that you're up, he'd be more comfortable going into the forest, and maybe if they wake up Hortense, he'd be feeling even better.
So I look at Hortense, I look at Rickard, and I say, can you revive her?
He nods and says, she's only asleep. It's gonna be pretty easy to wake her up, but I figured she needed the rest, seeing as she was slightly injured.
I am an Esper, bite my tongue, I lived in the Highland, plus I can confirm I am alive in the Highlands of cheesiness and goodness. So he's making mac and cheese. Sounds delicious.
I did not get that out of that. Wow, you really must be an Esper.
So, want to make sure all my equipment is okay. Like on my person. Am I missing anything?
Let's see. A 60. Oh, it seems you are missing something.
What am I missing?
Only one object. Everything else is like slightly scuffed and a little bit.
Can I roll for insight to see what I'm missing?
No, you don't have to roll for it. I'm just trying to describe.
No,
get my head
visually.
Everything's scuffed and slightly soggy, but nothing's majorly damaged or anything. You note that the one object you were missing was that guardsman rifle.
Oh boy.
Because you were holding it at that last moment as the ichthyosaur crashed into the ship. You may have lost it when you fell unconscious.
Can I ask Rickard if he's seen it?
You can, and he would respond with a no. He has not seen it in his short while adventuring around.
So I'm trying to fight the urge to panic because I've spent all that money on all that ammo.
Yeah. Where'd you put that ammo, by the way?
Wasn't expecting that either. What is your stance on being a survivor? He said, I wasn't expecting that either. What is your stance on being a survivor?
Stance?
Just make sure all my faculties are in check, make sure I'm not injured, and try to find a way off and or how to live there peacefully.
I like it. How invested are you in the initial premise of the adventure, which was to go and prevent any more zombie dinosaurs from getting to the mainland?
Well, without my rifle, we're going to have to...
You feeling your chances are a little low?
Very low. Especially going up against other undead.
Undead dinosaurs.
I would feel more happy if I found my rifle. And or can repair it.
I will remind you, you probably do have...
I have a dagger.
Some other weapons against undead. Let me see. Yeah, you've got some holy water vials in your pack, which all remain unbroken.
I was agreeing with Andrew about you knowing I was having mac and cheese from the previous sentence. Oh, yeah. That's how I knew. Because he previously said mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese.
Cheese and mac.
Immortality.
A potion of immortality. Is that a thing?
I don't know about a potion of immortality off the top of my head, but I do know that there is a potion of longevity that you can drink and roll a percentage dice, and based on how well you get, you can either go younger by 7 years, or if you're really unlucky, get older by 7 years. And depending on how many times you've depending on how many times you've drunken it, the percentage of getting older goes up. So.
Okay, so I guess I just need to ask Rickard if he is okay. In general.
In general?
I want to check on the morality of my men.
Oh, the morality? Yeah, he's doing pretty okay. This wasn't... this was a very unexpected scenario for him, but he's used to living out in the outdoors, and he's pretty confident in his ability to survive, given a base level wilderness area. But he does note that the presence of anomalous beasts in the forest put a damper somewhat on his, outlook.
So, if we can, let's try to find my rifle. If not, let's try to scavenge, yeah, for other weapons.
All right. Rickard nods and says, "Would you like me to wake up Hortense?"
Please do.
Okay.
He says, "Roll high, you have my blessing of luck." I believe that.
Yes, the well wishes of anonymous internet goers.
He's not anonymous to me.
He's anonymous to me.
Okay, that's different.
Yeah, I'm pretty different. Yeah.
That's true.
Anyways, Rickard kind of goes over to Hortense, shakes her a few times, wakes her up. She seems kind of bleary as she's getting up, but she snaps too when she realizes it's just you and Rickard there, and she starts looking around kind of frantically as if someone important to her was missing. Wonder who that could be. Rickard is taking the small fish off the fire and putting them on little platters, or leaves rather, large leaves.
Indeed.
And kind of handing them out. As Hortense asks you, "Where's my sister?"
I don't know. I just woke up. You might want to ask Rickard.
She turns to Rickard and he kind of just shakes his head quietly, as that Rickard do. Hortense stands up in a hurry, and wobbles a little bit, and starts calling out for Paisley.
Oh, shut that woman up. Remind her that area is not safe.
Yeah, Rickard gives you a look like, "Hey, shut her up, please."
Yeah, I'm going to her and I'm telling her to be quiet.
Oh, yeah?
Said, the louder you scream, the more unwanted attention you're going to attract. We need to assess the situation calmly, coolly, and collectively as possible.
But I don't know where my sister is.
I don't know where she is either. You're not the only one.
We need to find her.
You're not the only...
Paisley!
Shake her. I'm shaking her, and I was like, "You're not the only one missing something. I'm missing my rifle."
All right. Let me roll for persuasion to see how well you shut her up. You got a +5. Go ahead and roll the sacred D20.
First time D&D session live. Well, I'm glad you're here.
Oh yeah, man. People are always streaming D&D on Twitch. It's a pretty big thing.
And I appreciate you being here, Andrew.
Oh shucks, I do my best.
It's not bad.
So we got a 16 on the D20. For Hortense. Oh yeah, shit. No. Yeah, she shuts up almost immediately as you shake her and scream in her face. She looks a little bit perplexed at you saying you're missing your rifle. Kind of the values dissonance there is a little off-putting for her.
Comedy gold off tonight too. Of course, Tsunami.
Comedy gold off tonight too, huh? All right. I don't know what that means.
That means we're off to a good start. We're starting with comedy.
Oh, excellent. I'm glad we're amusing.
Yes.
Here in this wonderful US of A.
Oh yeah.
All right. So Hortense is, quiet. So you lead her back to the fire, sit her down, and everybody eats their fish. And while you kind of chat out what your plan is, Rickard shares with you that the best plan might be to just walk down the beach and see if your rifle washed up maybe further down. I didn't go very far, so it's possible it washed up further down, and we might find Hortense's sister as well.
Looking forward to watching that, Tsunami. Keep me updated. Okay, so I will go with Rickard's plan.
Alright, you finish your fish. Y'all pack up. Rickard stuffs as much of the unsullied rations from the crates into his pack and shoves a bunch of it into your bag of holding as well, before you start heading off down the beach, trudging through the wet sand, getting rained on a little bit, although it seems the worst of the storm is still out to sea. You can see lightning flashes out there every so often. And you come to the outcropping that Rickard had mentioned previously. It was kind of a rock, like, you know, in the starting area of a video game, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Going into the sea. So y'all head up that, climb over it, and venture off into the island. Okay. That'll be interesting.
I want to investigate the area for my rifle.
Alright, yeah, you're paying attention as you walk along. And it's a couple minutes before you see anything, but there is a dark shape further off down the beach. And a couple of shapes moving around it. You're going to go ahead and, roll for that perception to see how soon you spot it.
Just always believe in Andrew, even if you question his choices. Believe in him, and he will always steer in the correct direction. I believe that, too. Always trust people that are handsome.
You put a lot of faith into me, and I don't know how to feel about that.
Okay, so I'm going to roll.
Alright, go ahead. We're doing perception here. Wheel on a 10.
Oh, it's 15?
Perception is plus 3, so that
13.
is a 13, yeah. So with a 13, who sees who first? Let's find out. 16. They see you first.
Oh, well. Shit.
The moving shapes around the lying down figure stop moving and head off into the forest after a quick pause.
Scavengers.
Perhaps. You draw closer to the figure on the ground and find it to be, seems to be the corpse of a crewman you don't recognize. Large chunks are missing from his calves and back. And there's blood all over the place, turning the sand pink around him.
Very descriptive. I like that.
Thank you. I'm working on it.
Mm-hmm.
There also seems to be a rucksack with him, bulging with a few other things.
Darren said he'll be here in about 30 minutes.
So I'm assuming you go ahead and, check this guy out, see what he had on him.
He put that as my presidential slogan. Also, always trust people that are handsome.
Welp, that's more or less how we got into this mess in the first place, so... Yeah.
I mean, I trusted you several times IRL, and you stirred me clear.
Viva la pretty, I guess.
Viva la handsome.
Viva la handsome.
So, do I search the corpse?
Yes, we search the corpse. Let's see what we find on him. Let me pull up some nonsense out of my mind. Other than the ripped little sailor's uniform he had on him, he had on a belt with some rope, a dagger, anything else of note. In his rucksack, he had a few provisions, some, it looks like berries he had scavenged from inside the forest, as well as a couple small fruits of indeterminate type.
I was about to ask a stupid fucking question.
Oh, yeah?
Is he alive?
You want to go and check?
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll a medicine check. You got a +3 in that, looks like.
Oops. Yeah, he's dead.
What do you got it for? Yeah, you kind of casually glance at him and then look away, thinking, that's unpleasant to look at. He's probably dead. Yeah, he's probably dead. I'm not gonna say anything. You trust your senses.
I want to pull Rickard to me to speak in confidence so Hortense doesn't hear me.
Yep.
If this thing is going to be anything like the ichthyosaur in the ocean, I think we should cut the head off.
Rickard considers what you say, and he asks, you're worried about the body returning to life?
Correct. Better safe than sorry. He's of no use to anything right now, other than a paperweight.
So we know that roamers can convert... Can convert regular humans with their bite. Do zombie dinosaurs have the same ability? Bless me. Doesn't look like he'd know. How about a common sense roll? Let's see what he sees. 10? He agrees with you. He's going to err on the side of caution and pull out a hand axe he has.
And I'm going to make Hortense look away and just start talking to her and just saying, we're going to find your sister. I'm just trying to keep her distracted from what's going on behind us.
She seems pretty readily distracted. She looked at the body, saw that it wasn't her sister, and kept looking off down the beach, looking like she's going to call any second, but every time she looks like that, she looks at you and then looks back, and she doesn't say anything. So she's keeps walking off down the beach a little further while Rickard, prevents any, untoward happenings with the body. Oh, you did find one other thing in the man's pack, interestingly. A silver guardian symbol, like you usually find on the undead corpses that you encountered on the mainland. So, I'm going to pick that up.
Can I investigate it?
Yes, you can. Go ahead. There it is, right there. I have 3 of these now. I need a better eraser.
That's surprising.
What you get? A nat 20 on an investigation roll. Very interesting. Alright, so you take this thing in your hands and you look it over and you don't note too many dissimilarities to the ones you've already found. Except for one thing. It's very untarnished and tidy. It looks like someone has been shining it with some kind of oil, maybe. When you touch it, it's slightly wet. So you assume that he was carrying this with him and taking pretty good care of it.
Does it look like it might fit in something?
Like it might fit in something. The base does have a pretty regular shape across all the guardian symbols, but you don't notice any notches or grooves that might indicate
like
that
an
it's
indentation
a key or something. Yeah, no, nothing like that so far.
Oh. I shall give it to Rickard and ask him to hold on to it.
Alright, he stuffs it into your bag of holding while you're not looking, because it has more capacity than his bag, which seems almost full from that one ration box you found earlier. Alright, you keep going.
Can we,
Yep.
Can Rickard put, an invisibility spell around us?
An invisibility spell?
It's like that they can hear us, but they can't see us.
Actually, there is a